Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey family, what's happening? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, on today's conversation, rapper, entrepreneur, actor, multi-talented individual Snoop Dogg is backtracking his thoughts on, he found himself in some controversy a while back where he criticized children's movies or a film pushing the narrative of same-sex couples onto children. He didn't say it in an insulting way. He just like, man, it's like, I was unaware. I didn't know, I took my grandkid here, and I'm just like, whoa, this is a lot. So since he had mentioned that, he faced backlash, and now after all of that, he's added in a recent article I'm looking at this right now by the Hollywood Reporter. It says here, after the Lightyear controversy, Snoop Dogg added gay couples new song to animated kids show. The icon has teamed with GLAAD on Spirit Day as he discussed discussed a new love anthem for children and queer families. And I'll share his quotes later on the program, but again, I don't think Snoop had it in an insulting way. He just said, "Man, I was taking my grandchild to see a kids movie, and it's something that I have to learn that this world exists in love for for everyone, right? Whether it's straight couple love, same sex couple love, that exists. That's not foreign, and it should not be foreign. Love who you want to love." So he has he's now partnered with GLAAD, and we'll talk a little more about it. It's a sign of growth, as always. And also later on, popular, staying in the music realm as of today, gospel legend, gospel icon from the legendary family, the Winans family, pastor and award-winning singer Marvin Winans is finding himself in some hot water. You get to kind of take a guess. It's something that he did in the pulpit on a Sunday recently, and this went viral. So we'll talk about it. And then also Democrats, very known and higher up lawmaker in the Democratic Party, Congressman, returns APAC money. We're starting to hear a lot about how folks are calling out members of Congress, not even just members of Congress, elected officials who they consider are bought and paid for. You hear that a lot, whether if it's U.S. Senate or Congress. Oh, they're bought and paid for. That's why they're not voting on this, or that's why they're hesitant on X, Y, and Z. So we're going to talk about it and some more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the program, man. I'm so thrilled and excited to be speaking with you once again on this wonderful evening. Look, for those who are watching us right now on YouTube, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. We want to continue to build up that momentum, build up those viewerships and subscribers and all the whole 9 yards. We want to continue to grow our platform. So I truly appreciate it if you can do that. Again, share with folks. We have here on this program, we have not only great conversations amongst people in the world of entertainment, the world of sports, the world of politics. We want to inform folks too, because we live in a world where folks are not giving us proper information, or at least not giving us somewhat of a bridge or a segue to like get involved and read up more on our own. You know what I mean? So we're here to educate, have fun, keep folks accountable, and I'm just here to keep you in the know. That's it. That's all. That's all we're gonna do here. That's all that we do here. So again, you can stream the show on our YouTube channel, the Arrington Gavin Show YouTube channel. In addition to that, you can check out past episodes on Goatverse TV. Goatverse TV. Ways you can check that out is easy by downloading the app on the App Store or on Google Play Store. You can also download it on Roku TV or Amazon Fire TV. So 4 different ways you can check that out and support Goatverse TV, independently owned, black owned media is where it's at, my friends. You gotta support. Let's see here. You can also listen to us on the go wherever you listen to your podcast. We're available on all major podcast platforms. And then lastly, you can also check us out on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our partners in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. And then you can also tune into us. We're going to move it on into the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's only on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. And look, my friends, pretty excited because got some news coming ahead. We'll share about that. We'll share about that a little later on. You know what? Matter of fact, you're gonna have to follow us and tune in. If you follow us on social media, look, go to the Arrington Gavin Show on IG. We're also available on X. Let's see, Blue Sky as well. You can tune into, stay in the know of what's happening on in the show. And we have some great news I'll be sharing with you eventually. So can't wait to share that with you all. Yeah. So again, another wonderful day. I hope you all had a great weekend, and I don't know about y'all. I've had a long and productive weekend, man. It's my I'm in the process of opening another business, which, as y'all know, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a men's grooming line called Rugged Evolution Beard Care, which is really a all natural facial hair care and skincare line. We have amazing products. We're in a bunch of retailers, and we're very fortunate to build that company up. In addition to that, I run a nonprofit. In addition to that, I do this that you're listening to right now. In addition to that, I owned a trucking company, which I had for about 5-6 years. But I am getting ready. I'm gearing up to open up a videography and photography workspace, and I'm so excited because this is like a playground. I feel like a kid in the candy store because it's involving creativity, right? Creativity. I know a bunch of individuals out there. I know you are creative individuals that have an idea, that have a brain, and it's like, wow, I this is something I want to pursue, or have a voice, and you want to enter in the world of podcasting, or you're a talented photographer. This is a space for you. So I'm excited that we're working on that. Hopefully get that open up before the before Thanksgiving. That's the goal, before Thanksgiving. But I was been so busy doing that and hanging out with with friends and family, and so yeah, we've been busy on this end. But before we get going with our segment, what's the role, why is it important, man? A video came across my social media feed of we recently had the No Kings protests, which is an amazing cause, by the way. What it stands for is that there is nobody above the law. We don't serve kings here. And that's really a shot at somebody in Washington, right? Elected officials that abuse their power and they think they're above folks. No, we don't. We don't support kings. No kings on this side. All right. And so you had millions of people across the nation protesting and peaceful, mostly peaceful. Here in my home state of Virginia, mostly peaceful. I say all that to say, of course, you have your bad apples where folks that disagree with those protests. They want to, those diehard MAGA folks and the ones that say you're wrong, F this, F that. And so I came across this video, and I'm not going to play it for you because it was some graphic language that was brought on this video. But it's a video of, it was like at least four, I'm gonna say four guys. Now this No Kings protest had thousands of people, thousands. So it was like these two, three, four, about four white guys, older white guys, said, oh, they thought they could say whatever they want, and they're chanting what they want to say. And one guy even said a homophobic slur, which was extremely a big no-no, right? It's extremely insulting. And after that, he was singing God bless Trump. That's what he was singing, right? And he continued to say that, and then he, so I guess some folks were, fussing at him, and then he gave them the finger, and then he said, again, a homophobic slur. And then there's somebody on the opposing end snatches his glasses, and then this man runs and chases after him, trips and falls. Obviously embarrassing. Everybody gets a good chuckle because they're like, hey, look, you're being rude, you're being mean, you got what you deserve, in a sense, right? Then I see him running. He gets up, he runs again because he's looking for his glasses, and somebody trips him. He falls really bad, gashes his head. He's leaking. I'm sorry to be graphic, but I'm just describing this video here, and y'all probably already saw it across your social media feed. His face is leaking of blood on his left side, and he's running around. And there's so many folks like saying, you gotta go this and that. And then it was just one guy that's like, hey, wearing a Bernie Sanders shirt, like, please look at the size of this crowd. You will get hurt. You will get hurt if you think you want to fight this whole entire crowd. Or stop. And this man has to be in his 60s, early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, and he is chasing a teen, like a teen on a skateboard, a young white male, and the young white male snatches his glasses. Now, here's my thing, and I see it, and here's why I'm sharing this with you all, because there's a lot of folks, and I reposted it on my social media, and I basically said, hey, look, it's a sad thing on both sides, right? Because there's both sides speaking their opinions by insulting each other, right? They're speaking whose side they're on, but by insulting each other. There's folks, I'll say left-leaning commentators, political commentators, that are promoting this video with laughing emoji. You got these. In all honesty and reality, it's like, but hold up, y'all watching the same video I just saw. This man was running to get his shades, guilty or not guilty, I could care less. But he was saying some insultful things. The dude was a jerk. He was a jerk, flat out. But he did not throw anything at them. He did not try and grab one of his signs, where there's videos of folks grabbing folks' signs and all this stuff. He did not lay a hand on any of them. What started the altercation was a young individual grabbing his sunglasses or his glasses and running away with them. So right then and there, he started that. The man is running after him. He stumbles the first time on his own. No one trips him. He gets up, he runs it again, and then somebody extends a hand and trips him. So insults him. He assaults him, not insults. He assaults him, causing this man to bleed in his head. Again, my friends, here's where this frustrates me. So, of course, and I hate to always recap it, but in Virginia, there's an attorney general's race between incumbent Jason Myers, Republican incumbent Jason Myers, and Democratic candidate Jay Jones. Now, Jay Jones has been in some hot water because of an old text message that said some quite outrageous comments towards a colleague, towards a then House Speaker, right? He's dealing with the consequences. He apologized, but he's dealing with the consequences because he said some very disturbing verbiage through that on that text, right? Now, you got a guy in Washington. You have multiple elected officials on the right that's accusing the left of being the violent, agitate. They're the ones that starts all these assaults and this political violence and whatnot, right? So obviously, I share my frustration what happened with Jay Jones, because I'm like, dude, you're not helping the case. You're not helping the case when you bring out when you text language like this, right? Okay. Now I look at this video. Again, the man said some horrible blame. Like I said, he said he called folks a homophobic slur. He said some awful things. But, and I'm not saying this to defend him, but when you look at who assaulted who physically, it was a person that was a part of the protest. I'm not saying they're representing the whole protest, because it was majority, all of them, majority of them were peacefully protesting. You always have, your one or two bad apples that's involved in a group that makes the whole group look bad. But see, that's great for the conservatives' rhetoric to say, oh, look, they're all a bunch of violent individuals, violent protests, X, Y, and Z. I mean, but what frustrates me is that I see folks with big platforms that will replay this and put laugh in the face emojis. And I'm just like, this is nothing to joke about. Don't get me wrong. When it's like, when folks, it's like seeing a villain crumble because, like, hey, look, you got what you started. But at the end of the day, he said what he said. It was stupid. Really, you could have, he tripped on his own. I'm mad at the person that purposely tripped him and caused that man to bust his head open. That shouldn't have happened. And I'm also upset because the guy ran with his glasses. Come on, y'all. Come on. And folks are embracing this. Like, do better. Do better. I've said time and time again, I don't wish harm on my worst enemy. We got some true, I'm trying to watch my language here. We have some individuals that truly cause harm and hate crimes out here, right? With their words, what you name it. We got evil that exists in this world. But as I said before, two wrongs don't make a right. Why do you think it's okay to just, okay, the man's already irate, right? He's saying crazy stuff. But let me just take his glasses and I'm gonna run. Like, what does that do? I've stretched out my time. I apologize, my friends. Look, we're gonna take a commercial break. I'm gonna come back, and we're actually gonna skip over because I went over my time. We're gonna head to a commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna get started with the show. Again, my friends, thank you so much. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create. From weddings to corporate events and everything in between, we specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In goats, we trust.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Yes. Now, forgive me. I literally, seconds before this commercial, I just sneezed. So forgive me as I'm trying to make sure another one's not coming. Let's get it going first with, let's see here. So, wife of Sylvester Stallone, Jennifer Lee Flair, has been making a name for herself. I guess you could say currently on the political scene. They had a reality show. I think I guess that was short-lived when Sylvester Stallone signed a deal with Paramount, because he has the show Tulsa King that's on Paramount, and then he had a reality show that was showcasing his wonderful family, his daughters, his wife of many, many years. And so, and it's public information. We all know that Sylvester Stallone is a Trump supporter. They're friends. He supported him for all elections, and his brother as well. But they're Republicans. They're Trump supporters. All right. So, recently his wife though was on a podcast, and she was giving her take on celebrity parents. So let me go ahead and find that soundbite for y'all, and then let's I'm going to ask you all your take on that.
Why do you think it is that so many kids in Hollywood now and kids of, celebrity parents are transgender? Is there something in the water in Hollywood, or?
I just think Hollywood is it's all about expression. So, however you want to express yourself. So if you feel like a cat today, you're a cat, and it's so loosey-goosey. I don't think that we're really understanding that these kids are not our accessories. They're little human beings that need structure. And structure is really important for them because it helps their brain organize everything. And I think growing up in a Hollywood home, there's really no structure because you got this thing going, and you've got private planes, and you got all these giant homes with chefs and secretaries and assistants and, housekeepers, nannies, and there's just too much of everything.
Why do you think it is?
It gets really confusing for a little person. And it's okay what you decide to be as an adult, but raise them just with good common sense. I mean, my daughters were all tomboys. They prefer to wear pants than dresses, and they love sports. But I never said, oh, you're a boy now. I just said, you love to play sports. You love to hang out with boys. That's awesome. It gets really confusing.
Y'all, I'll be honest. I do not disagree with those comments that Jennifer Stallone said right there. And look, I'm no parent. Who am I to judge parents the way they raise their children? But what she explained is that, look, when you're adults, you can make any choice or any decision you want to. When you're children, you have to have a form of common sense. She said, look, I realized I saw my daughters were tomboys. They sported, they don't want to wear dresses. They sports this, that, and the other. He's like, but I didn't push one thing to them. I let them just, be them. And she's saying the world of Hollywood is about expressing yourself, and she's calling out celebrity parents, saying that you're praising transgender children. And look, for me, I look at it like this: be who you want to be on this world, right? Be who you want to be, love who you want to love. And again, I'm no parent, so I'm not here to judge your parenting skills. Because let's be honest, there's some parents out there let their children do a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. I don't need to say. Come on now, when you're on the airports, when you at a grocery store and kids are horse playing around and stuff, you're like, man, can you handle your kid? You don't want to say nothing. You don't want to say nothing. But this is a big. I mean, this is a big thing, and she's there's a lot of folks that disagree with her, but there's a lot of folks that's clapping her up, saying, "Hey, look, the stuff that everybody thinks about, but just is scared to say." And I honestly, I do not disagree with her statement on that. I really don't, because I guess the big thing what I got out of that is, for one, common sense, and then almost like not letting your children be in charge of, like, take over the parents' role, in a sense. Like, there is always going to be some structure, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to offend anybody whatsoever, because I'm very, very close with I have a lot of respect, and I have a lot of close personal friends, even family, a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I just how can I put it? I think there should always be discussions when it comes to kids of a certain age going through a process of something like that. Seriously, because for me as a kid, there were so many things I wanted to do. There were so many things I wanted to be. But at the end of the day, it was like a 1 hour thought process, and then it was gone the next. Now, if I was 18 on my own, hey, I got the choice to do whatever I want to. But when you're not even 10 years old, and this is just, I mean, or maybe in your preteens, you still got to be careful. That's just my take. What do y'all think? Do me a favor, send me your thoughts on that. You can go to our website, www.theagshow.com. Let me go ahead and put a QR code up there for those who are watching us right now. Go to our QR code, and there's a contact tab where you can reach out to me personally, or you can DM me on Instagram. And I want to hear your thoughts on that. Because it is, I would say it's one of the biggest issues that's killing the Democratic Party in campaigns, is the transgender conversation. The conversation about, should men play in women's sports, should women play in men's sports, and vice versa. That's, in a sense, that's what really hurt Kamala Harris's chances on becoming president of the United States. It's something that a lot of Democratic elected officials, come re-election, that they don't give you a clear answer on. That's their kryptonite right now. Let's talk about this. Are you for men competing in women's sports? Because we see folks on both sides of the aisle that are like, that's too much. That's too much. And I've said time and time again, there needs to be a sit down conversation at all times about situations like this. They really do. But let's go ahead. I want to digress from this, because I want to stay in this theme here, because I mentioned Snoop Dogg earlier in the introduction of the show, when Snoop Dogg had made headlines sharing his somewhat frustration of the recent Toy Story movie called Lightyear. This was a movie back in 2022, and Snoop Dogg has obviously since changed his tune after facing controversy for slamming inclusion of a same-sex couple on Disney's movie Lightyear. And so let me go ahead, because I always like putting up a graphic for those who are watching this show right now. Go ahead, take this down. Here we go. And so it says here that the rapper, hip hop icon, and business mogul has teamed up with GLAAD to back Spirit Day, an annual initiative that rallies thousands of celebrities, influential voices, media outlets, studios, brands, corporations, sports teams, tech leaders, and more to wear purple and show support for the LGBTQ youth. Now, this year's installment is taking place, or has already taken place, excuse me, and it finds Snoop Dogg showing his support by wearing purple while having a conversation with the Voice contestant Jeremy Belote, an out member of the LGBTQ community who competed on Team Snoop Dogg on the NBC's reality show. Now, Snoop and Belote talked about their friendship since meeting on The Voice and teased new music. Belote tells Snoop about his own experience with bullying as a kid while sharing advice he has for others who might be experiencing the same thing. Now, Snoop has taken that support a step further by collaborating with Belote on a new song titled "Love Is Love" that is featured in a new episode of Snoop's animated children's series Doggy Land on YouTube. Belote's voices a puppy named Zippy that joins the Doggy Land family to sing about love. The cast of characters is led by Snoop voice Bow Wizzle, a main character that serves as an adult mentor. I quote here. I want to read. Let's see here. Our parents are different. Not two are the same, but the one thing that's for certain is the love won't change. Families are special. They are so unique. Everybody's got a purpose more than what you see. We love your parents. We love you so. Sings the pups as a series of same-sex families appear on screen with their pups. Look, I look at it like this, my friends. I explained this from the get-go. I didn't think Snoop should receive the backlash that he received at the time. At the end of the day, it's a part of the growth. It's a part of raising children. I will say in our current world, because same sex is more embraced than it probably was back in the day. It still has some more work to do. I mean, let's be honest. America's continue to grow when it comes to hell, even interracial couples, right? But with Snoop on Snoop's sense, he felt as though, wow, I wasn't ready to have to explain this to my grand. That's to me where I caught. I didn't catch that he was being discriminating same-sex couples. His issue was the fact that the inclusion pieces in children's in it always goes back to the kids, the children, the kids, this, that, and the other. Like, is it too mature for young kids to start having an understanding on same-sex couples? And look, I've seen the movie Lightyear. It was a very harmless scene. Okay, there was a lesbian couple with their child hugging, and that was it. Just saying, like, how embracing each other. That was all. There was no kissing. There was none of that. It was a Toy Story film. It was an animation Pixar film. Okay. What they did was educate and help, I would say, break the ice for parents with children that say, "Hey, I got a question to ask," because that's what most children's movies or children's TV shows are. They're big on. They're obviously going to be entertainment, but they're going to give you an educational piece that can help when it comes to when it helps to raising children, because the first awkward conversation you're going to have is the birds and the bees eventually, right? The another conversation you're going to have is why stealing is bad, why lying is bad, why bullying is bad. Now, there are films that are explaining, look, little Johnny, or little Eddie has had made a friend at school, and they're really, really good, and then the parents gets to meet their parents. Oh, and then little Johnny might come from a straight parent household, and little Eddie might come from a same-sex parent household. You know what I mean? What is it? What are they gonna do? They're gonna say, "Oh, you can't hang with them," because no. That's the world. This is the world we live in. That's because we live in a versatile society, versatile world, and you need to embrace everyone. Everybody should be treated equals, my friends, equals. NT ways. Kudos to Snoop Dogg for maturing, publicly partnering with GLAAD. I think that's a big deal. I know Charles Barker is a longtime LGBTQ advocate. I remember one of his quotes said, it's hypocrisy that black people discriminate against, or as a black person, it's hypocritical, or how can I say the word? Yes, it's hypocrisy if I discriminate against a same-sex marriage, especially because our ancestors went through discrimination as well. We went through hate crime. There's folks, there's people, brothers and sisters of the LGBTQ community right now being abused because of the way they love, or the way they look at X, Y, and Z. Like this, it's uncalled for. So again, kudos to Snoop Dogg for growing. At the age of, I guess Snoop Dogg is somewhere in his 50s. The man looks 60. The man age in the bed. No, I'm joking, Snoop. Anyways, my friends, as I digress from that story here, what do we have on the chopping block here? I gotta talk about this George Santos guy again. I really do. I gotta talk about this George Santos, because what really bugs me, and actually check out my Substack, because I wrote an opinion piece just how just the justice system is just unfair, because we all know that Santos was sentenced. He was supposed to be sentenced to 7 years in prison. 7 years in prison, and he served what? Not even. Let me see what was his length that he actually served. It wasn't even 2 weeks. It was not even 2 weeks. Let me backtrack to see, because he got his sentence commuted by Trump, and let me see because I'm reading this article from ABC News about the former disgraced congressman out of New York, who, I mean, he first of all, he lied since he got in office, and he continued to make a joke out of all the accusations, like, oh my gosh, this is untrue, you're just, this is the witch hunt, this is that. I'm like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you're blatantly found guilty. There's evidence, there's proven evidence that's showing that you falsified all this stuff and took money, donation money, of people that hey, respected you. They wanted to see you win. They believed in you because you made some promises during election season. They're like, hey, look, we want to push this into your campaign, because we're like, hey, look, you're the guy we need to represent us here in New York. And he just basically spit in the face of all of them. Where is, man, I cannot find the years that he was he was supposed to be sentenced to 7 years, but okay, yeah, less than 3 months into serving his 7 year. There we go, less than 3 months, and it was supposed to be a 7-year plan. So let me actually read you this full article. So we all know that he was recently commuted. He's a free man now. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-damn-do. And it's unfair because I've said this on my social media. Let it be me sentenced for wire fraud and aggravating identity theft. Okay, I would probably I'll be serving life. 7 years, but sir, 7 years the max. Life. I want him to learn a lesson. All right, I will still be in jail. Commuted, give me a break. Especially, same goes for George Santos. If he was just a regular average guy, not a politician, not a mouthpiece for MAGA, that man will still be in the jail. Okay. So, let's see here. I want to read you. George Santos recently talked about his time of some sorts. He's been on like CNN, he's been on Fox News after his commuting sentence. He said, I understand people want to make this into he's getting away with it. I'm not getting away with it. I was the first person to ever, right? First person ever in America to go to federal prison for civil violations. It's still breaking the law. Okay. I don't want to focus on trying to rehash the past. I want to take the experience and do good and move on with the future. No, buddy. Don't just ignore it. We're not just gonna let this go away, because at the end of the day, you broke the law. And a lot of folks are gonna be frustrated. The fact of the matter is, it's like, wait a minute. I have a relative that was in jail for stealing a freaking candy bar. Okay, and he's still in jail. Like, I'm just saying, like, this exists. This exists in America, y'all. It says, as part of his plea deal, Santos agreed to pay nearly $600,000 in restitution and forfeitures. Now, he asked on the State of the Union, CNN State of the Union, he was asked if he planned to pay back donors. Santos said he said, I'll do my best to do whatever the law requires of me. That brother, that man ain't gonna pay nothing out of dime. First of all, he's probably spent it all. All right. I don't know what he did for a living prior to. He said he had this business. That was a lie. He had a nonprofit. That was a lie. He had this. That was a lie. We don't know. Is the name even George Santos? We don't know. All right. Now, also here says here, according to the clemency grant, a photo of which was posted on X by U.S. pardon attorney Ed Martin, Trump granted Santos an immediate commutation of his entire sentence to time served with no further fines, restitution, probations, supervised release, or other conditions. I just, woo! I'm telling you, favoritism at its finest. As long as you say you support this guy, he will. Because look, this is the same guy that pardoned over 1,500 individuals, criminals that swarmed the Capitol on January 6th. He pardoned them all. And you know what most of them did when they got out? They broke the law again, because that's what criminals do. All right. They broke the law again because that's what criminals do. I tell you, and do I need to repeat what Trump had said on I think he said it on his Truth Social or X. He said Trump said Santos had been horribly mistreated, called him a bit of a rogue, but at least Santos had courage, conviction, intelligence, and best of all, he always voted Republican. That's why I'm proud to commute his sentence. All right. He always voted Republican, and we need those votes. We do. Midterms not looking too good. We've been losing a lot of these special elections. Not looking good. So, chop, George. Chop. Santos pleaded guilty in August of 2024 and admitted to claiming relatives had made contributions to his campaign when, in fact, they had not. Santos conceded he was trying to meet the fundraising threshold to qualify for financial help from the National Republican Congressional Committee. All right. And it was funny because I think, who was it? If I'm not mistaken, was it Mitt Romney? There was a video of Mitt Romney walking by Santos during one of the State of the Union saying just disgrace, just very disgraceful. Like, I mean, called him out. Like, there were multiple people from the Republican Party that wanted him out because he continued to make them look like the laughing stock. Okay. He also stipulated that he committed other fraud, including charging donor credit cards without authorization and conviction donors to give money by falsely stating the money would be used for TV ads. He also stipulated he stole public money by applying for and receiving unemployment benefits during the pandemic to which he was not entitled. Santos claimed others like President Joe Biden had also used their pardon power for political charge reasons. So he said, pardon me if I'm not paying too much attention to the pearl clutching of the outrage of my critics and other people, predominantly on the left. Here we go, who are going to go out there and try to make a big deal out of something like this. Because, sir, you broke the law. There's consequences for that, but because you kissed the ring, you are now free to do whatever you want. That's why people have the right. Man, let me tell you something. It really frustrates me because once again, you're not breaking the law in the name of Donald Trump. If you are doing something for the name of Trump, you are innocent of all charges. That's how I feel. If you do something in the name of Trump, you are cleared. You're good. It's frustrating. Let me go and actually see if I can find some before we head to a commercial break. Let me go and play you a couple of sound bites from former Congressman George Santos. This was one conversation he had on with Dana Bash on State of the Union, CNN State of the Union. Let me go ahead and play that for you real quick. And then I have one where his appearance on Fox and Friends. I believe I posted that on my social media.
I had no expectations. I wasn't even aware until I learned it off of the chyron of mainstream media inside of the prison myself. I had just been released from segregated isolation after 41 days for absolute no valid reason other than retaliatory warden. But I learned it from the TV.
Yeah, so I mean, that's incredible. You were standing in prison, you looked up at television, and that's where you saw that your sentence was commuted?
More like I didn't see it. Other inmates saw it and called me over to see it. I was not in the room at the time, and then I made my way to see it. I called my family, and they told me it had happened, but I was not aware. It was a surprise. I had no expectations.
Had no expectations. So this is just a huge shock for him. Okay, so now I'll move it on to Fox and Friends. And this is what he had to say about that. So again, it's two, he's on, left-leaning media, he's on right-leaning media, two different messages here.
You were convicted of identity theft and wire fraud, basically misusing the funds that donors have given to you for personal reasons. Why shouldn't you have served out your full term?
Look, Charlie, I understand people want to make this into he's getting away with it.
Right.
I'm not getting away with it. I was the first person to ever go to federal prison for this type of civil FEC violation. These are usually solved in penalties. And I don't want to focus on trying to rehash the past. I want to take this experience and do good and move on with the future.
So you
cry me a flipping river. That's how I feel about that, y'all. I'll be honest. I'm extremely ticked off about that. Look, we're gonna head to a commercial break, my friends. Thank you for sticking with us, though. But we gotta take a quick breather, and we'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So don't go anywhere and do not change that dial.
Jazera Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarenLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
Our risk from injury from a fall or car crash increases as we age. But getting older doesn't have to mean giving up on the activities you love. Take simple steps to avoid injuries, like doing activities that improve strength and balance. Get yearly eye and wellness exams, and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the medicines you take. Also, tell your doctor if you've fallen or worry about falling. Learn more about aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Next up, I want to talk about Blexic. I'm not good with pronouncing that word. Blexic. Blexit. Ooh. Is it just me, or or isn't that a difficult word? So anyway, the Blexic tour, I know I said that wrong. I really don't care at this point. That's co-founded by conservative talker Candace Owens, which is it's a division that's under Turning Point USA, had announced that they were doing this tour at HBCU schools. I think it was 10 HBCUs during their homecoming weeks. And so I mentioned a number of I know 2 universities that's closer to me that they will be attending. Hampton University, let's see where else. Howard University out in DC, Hampton University, located in Hampton, Virginia. They're also going to Florida A&M, FAMU. And so it was just announced that the FAMU event had been canceled, and other schools are silencing are pretty much doing the same thing. They're either rethinking it, or they possibly could be saying, no, I don't think we're going to do this. So let me actually read you this here. Yes, FAMU Blessing Tour stopped during homecoming week, canceled. The FAMU stop on the Blessing Nationwide Educate to Liberate tour, which it says during the homecoming week was canceled. Quote by the spokesperson said, "We will announce a new date soon," but without explaining the reasons for calling off the event. Now, a conservative grassroots movement founded by, as I mentioned, far-right black and political commentator Candace Owens is now affiliated with Turning Point USA, aims to spark dialogue on historically black colleges and university campuses. Turning Point USA is a nonprofit founded in 2012 by conservative activist Charlie Kirk to promote free markets, limited government, and conservative values on high school and college campuses. Now, the 31-year-old, as you all know, was fatally shot on campus speaking at an event at Utah Valley University in this past September. In what authorities described as a targeted attack, and a suspect has been arrested and faces aggravated murder charges. Now, founded in 2018, Blexit. Jesus, I'm gonna have such a problem saying that. Describes itself as a movement encouraging Black Americans and other minority communities to rethink traditional political affiliations and embrace principles such as free markets, entrepreneurship, and individual liberty. Now, at the same time, it says here that some HBCU students and faculty have questioned whether Blessed Conservatives' message aligns with the values and political climate of historically Black colleges, institutions, higher learning known for a traditional of activism and social justice. Now, I will share this. I'm all for dialogue, right? Not debates. I love having the conversation just to share exactly, okay, what's your beliefs? Why do you believe that? And do you think your beliefs can benefit the majority of America? Right? That's where I always align it. See, the reason, y'all, why I consider myself an independent is because I don't believe, for one, that one bubble, one party can take care of the whole entire world's issues. All right. It's this no. All Republican values will not take care of the world's problems. All Democratic problems will not take care of the world's problems. Now bring two together, unite, right? You know your expertise is in this field, your expertise in that field, bring them together. You got to win a strategy here. But I'm not married. And then on top of that too, everything is so damn partisan. It's like you're killing me, Smalls. So that being said, I think it is a great idea to have this, especially when it's hold up. Especially when there is folks that, at least for students, because students in mostly in HBCU schools are mostly Black and African American. And so when they see folks that look like them, they'll at least give them a platform more than, remember the two guys wearing the MAGA hats that put up a table, I think at like Tennessee State, that ended really quickly. Like that did not go well for them at all. Now, do I think they're going to get crowds of people? Yes. Do I think all those crowds of people are going to be on their side? No. Because personally, I think there is mostly liberal viewpoints in HBCU schools. I remember doing reading a segment or doing speaking about a story I read where this girl, Black young lady, has started the conservative party, or like a conservative club in FAMU, if I'm not mistaken. And so that was very rare, because in HBCUs, or just colleges alone. I don't know a lot of HBCUs that have like Democratic parties. I know for sure Norfolk State University has one, but I don't know if they have Republican parties too. Geez, look at the time. Time is really against me right now. But yeah, a lot of left-leaning political commentators or public figures have said, look, don't even show up to it. Like, ignore them. Don't even show up to it, X, Y, and Z. That's how you should do. They shouldn't be allowed to do this. I think they should be allowed to have it on campus. I think it's great for students to engage, because the HBCUs is filled with some of the most educated and qualified individuals that, in my opinion, that can embarrass some of these conservative influencers that's a part of this tour. Just in all honesty, I think they'll be respectful, but they're giving that smoke, like so how can you be X, Y, and Z, and how you do, like, I think it'll be interesting. And I'm curious to see. I wouldn't mind seeing this. I think it's interesting, because again, I'm for having the conversation, but again, having it very respectfully and not the whole yelling on top of each other, because who's going to win in that case, right? But y'all, I want to continue to talk about this, because I'm not completely finished with this article, and I've left off a couple more stories I wanted to share with you, but I'll just move that on to the next program, y'all. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights. All right, weeknights available on all digital and streaming platforms. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on social media, and just be in the know. Stay in the know. If you have not gone out and voted yet, please do so. If early voting has already started, get out there and early vote. Vote is your voice. Your vote is your voice, and don't ever forget that you have the power. Those in office, they serve you. Peace and blessings, y'all. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.